Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Chuck, and it's Thursday, February 29th, 2024, leap year day, and it's early afternoon, and I'm still chasing squeaks and rattles and clunks and stuff in my old truck, and so I'm going to try something a little different. One of the squeaks I've been chasing is in the steering wheel, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the steering wheel, and I've got the tools to do it here. It's actually pretty simple. All you really need is a 15mm socket, a couple of 1/2-inch wrenches, and a steering wheel puller. I've had that steering wheel puller ever since I was a teenager. You don't use it very often, but like a lot of tools, it's kind of like a parachute. It ain't worth much till you need it, and then nothing else will do. So, first of all, got to get the horn button off of here. Now, the horn button on these trucks is pretty simple to remove. Just pull this thing back like that. Unplug 2 wires. And we'll set that out of the way for now. That gives you access to the nut on the end of this. And that's simple enough to remove. Then we use our puller. Pretty straightforward. And voila! Steering wheel's off. I got you on the tripod there, so I don't know how well you can see what's in here, but I'll bring you in and show you. Won't need this to put it back on. I'll set this back out. Actually, I'll turn this around and show you what the problem is. Right down here, I don't know if you can see it, but right down here there's 3 little contact points. And those 3 little contact points line up on these 3 little rings right here on the steering wheel. Well, they're all dried up. And those 3 little contact points decided to start squeaking when you steer. When it turned like that, they squeak. It's probably not hurting anything, but it's irritating as heck, so I decided I'm going to fix it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn you off for a little bit while I go ahead and clean that up, and I'll turn you back on again when I get ready to reassemble it. Before I put that segment in there, putting everything back together again, let me tell you a little bit about this steering wheel puller. I used to mechanic for a living, and I bought this thing years ago. And they're pretty straightforward. It's just a little puller that looks like that. and they take a certain pair of bolts. Usually the bolts are the same. So this one matches this one. That one matches that one. This one matches that one. These two match. Those two match. And this one over here matches that one over there. And that's, when I store it, I just stick this thing in there like that. And I drilled those little holes in that piece of board probably, oh my golly, probably 60 years ago. And once again, it's like every other puller. You don't need it very often, but once you need it, it's pretty handy to have. So now I'll plug that thing in here, and then I'll show you the reassembly. Okay, and I'm back. So what did I do? Well, I cleaned these rings all up, got all the dirt out of it, put a little bit of dielectric grease around it, took a little bit of fine sandpaper and cleaned those contacts, put a little bit of dielectric grease on that as well. So now we'll put it back together and see how it works. One thing I didn't mention, it's always good to mark. When you pull that thing off, make a little mark on it, and make a little mark so you get it on there right, so you don't get your steering wheel back on there crooked. So let's put it back together. There is a torque spec on this, but as long as you get it good and tight, it probably doesn't have to be exact. I found out the last time that I took one of these apart that this one little electrical contact here can get a little bit tricky. So you got to take a little bit of time, make sure you get that one right. The other one goes on pretty easy. And that, my friends, is all there is to it. Let's start it up and see if our squeak went away. Before, whenever I steered, it'd chirp like a little bird. So this will probably be a little noisy. My squeak's gone. The little whine you heard is the power steering pump, and that's pretty common with these Fords of this vintage, and it still works fine. It just makes a little noise. So I think that's my project. It's turned out to be pretty simple. So as I always tell you, take care of each other, love each other, and take care of yourself. And just a little project from old Chuck's shop on his old truck, and we'll be back again with another one pretty quick. So right now, have a great day, and I'll just tell you peace out.